Hello and welcome to Portland Works. I'm chairman of the Friends of Portland Works, and we're one of the main fundraising organizations that is devoted to restoring the fabric of the building, opening up the workshops, raising them to current standards for occupation and for renting by our tenants. COVID-19, as you can imagine, has had quite an impact on our fundraising capabilities. This year, we would, as normal, have opened in September to allow the public in to have a look round, and that would also have been an opportunity for Friends of Portland Works to raise funds for the future restoration projects. That, of course, is all now on hold, and this little video is a way of telling you what we've been doing in the past, what our plans are for the future, which I hope you're going to feel able to support. I'm sure a lot of you will know more about the Sheffield cutlery industry than I do myself, so bear with me if I just put a bit of context to Portland Works and why I think they are so important, and indeed why they are so important. Cutting tools, particularly knives, were Sheffield's main industry for hundreds of years, well before the steel industry took over and really started hogging the headlines, you could say, with the big companies like Vickers and Firth and Browns, who were building battleships and were really household names during the late 19th and early 20th century. But even Geoffrey Chaucer mentioned the Sheffield knife making back in around 1300. So we're talking 500 years of cutlery being the main industry in Sheffield before steel making came along in any really serious way. Robert Feed Mosley, who had Portland Works built, was in the tradition of the cutlery companies of Sheffield. And in 1879, Portland Works opened, and it was an integrated works, so there were no longer little mesters running around with individual pieces of work on carts. Everything was being done under one roof. And it remains as a very original example of an integrated cutlery works, one of the very few that are left in Sheffield now that have still got people working in them. There are cutlery buildings in existence in Sheffield, but generally speaking they've been converted into apartments or shops. Having opened in 1879, the business of Robert Feed Mosley, the cutlery manufacturer, closed eventually in 1968. But not before it had earned itself a special place in industrial history as the manufacturer of the first stainless steel cutlery. Indeed, the first stainless steel products of any kind in 1914. This cutlery was rather inelegantly, you might think, branded Rusnostain. After 1968, the works were in various ownerships until they were finally bought by a group of tenants and campaigners in 2013, with a view to turning them into fully restored workshops that would last for decades as a place of work for craftsmen and small companies. At that stage, the building was in a terrible state of repair. Since 2013, there's been a tremendous amount of improvement to the structures of the building and the quality of the accommodation for the tenants. We now have around 40 businesses here at the works, some of them traditional Sheffield enterprises. We have a silver plater, we have 2 knife makers, we have various metal workers, we have a jewellery manufacturer. We also have people who make guitars, who make rugs, who make kitchen cabinets, and who produce joinery products. We have an artist studio and a photography studio as well. The place is thriving in that sense, and the objective of providing low-cost workshops for people who make things has been realised. The rents from the tenants pay for the day-to-day running costs of the building. All the management, the health and safety, all the financial controls that need to be undertaken. What the rents can't cover is the unexpected and long-term renovations that are needed on a 140-year-old building, and that's where Friends of Portland Works come in. Our first project that we were able to fund was the guttering on Randall Street. This was beginning to crumble and bits were actually falling down onto the pavement below, so that could clearly not continue. Friends of Portland Works were able to fund the guttering, downpipes, related accessories that were needed to replace virtually 40 yards of timber gutters made to the original heritage standard. So this was the sort of unexpected but essential repair work that causes serious financial problems for the owners of the works. We followed that up with funding the brickwork on Randall Street that had been crumbling for many years. It was so bad you could actually put your hand in the holes on the front wall in various places. And we were able to fund £4,000 worth of work using a heritage bricklayer laying specially made handmade bricks. And inside the works, Friends of Portland Works have also funded quite a lot of projects, including the restoration of various workshops, making them structurally sound. For example, the one behind us here with the new windows. And also we funded the AV equipment and various other items for the Makerspace events room, where we now hold lectures, social events, artists' exhibitions, and that sort of thing. And that has made the building much more accessible to the public and has been a great benefit. So thanks to all sorts of donations from private individuals, from companies, and a lot of support from various local charities and also some national charities that support heritage projects. That's what we've been able to do in the past. Looking to the future, we've got projects lined up to finish the restoration of Randall Street and also the Hill Street elevation, where we've got 800 bricks crumbling away and some windows that are really beyond repair and we're going to have to replace. Fortunately, thanks to the support we've had, we're able to fund those two projects, and I hope that they're going to be starting in September. In a normal year, we would be expecting to raise money from other charities, individual donations from people who support us, lectures by trustees, selling products at various open days that we go to. This year there was going to be some tours of the famous Megatron underneath Sheffield Station, and we were going to get part of the proceeds from those tours. We've raised funds in as many ways as we can. All of that has pretty much come to a halt. The Kelham Island Christmas Fair that we would normally go to every year in December, and which is a good source of income for us, has been cancelled. So we're very much reliant now on individual donations to keep our income topped up and enable us to support the projects that we have planned. This year we want to finish capping the chimney, which has been a problem for a couple of years now. And we've made a start, but we need to finish the job by putting a cap on it. We also need to start putting in proper fire detection system that meets current standards to make the workshops fully safe. Make serious progress in restoring the Randall Street and Hill Street front elevations that face on the street. And then next year, the big project that we need to raise money for is D block restoration. D block is the big section behind us here, As you can see, the roof is in very poor state. The lead work is slipping off. The cupping stones around the edges are not in a safe condition, and the windows themselves are in poor condition as well. And the plan will be to raise enough funds for a contractor to do the work on the roof itself, and while the scaffolding is in place, volunteers from the building team will restore, renovate the windows, do all the repair work that's needed, paint them, and hopefully leave the entire range in the sort of condition it was back in 1879. To do that, we're going to need your help. And I do hope you feel that Portland Works and supporting it is a worthwhile project, and you'll feel able to maybe become a friend of Portland Works, which involves a £20 donation, which can be done very simply through our convenient website, which has a donate button and a facility for gift aid. I do hope you can visit us at the works sometime in person. Until then, I hope you will feel you can support what I think is a very, very worthwhile project.